Well, greetings, my good friends. This is Obi Wan muGaBa, greeting you once again in the evening hours in my backyard of June 16, 2014. And I wanted to tell you about something that was on my mind about 6 heart virtues. The 6 heart virtues are a very interesting idea. And since there's a number 6, there's obviously a list. So I'll start discussing them by mentioning all the different virtues in those 6 heart, all 6 of them. So here they are in alphabetical order. Heart virtue: appreciation, compassion, forgiveness, humility, understanding, valor. And the last one, Valor, V-A-L-O-R, needs a little explanation off the top because it's not so commonly used in connection with a heart virtue sort of thing. But it really is true, because when you think about it, valor is having the courage to defend the innocent. Whatever it takes to defend the one that's being wrongly actioned upon. And so valor is an appropriate heart virtue. Sometimes it takes that courage to speak up, to say something, to do something, to make some action or some thought or intention, some kind of positive energy to defend the innocent. And that's part of our compassion for the innocent, to speak up and have the courage and do what's necessary. To have heart virtues does not mean we're a pacifist. We can always defend ourselves to the optimum degree because life is precious, including our own, and we do not sacrifice it for the sake of anyone. We defend it to the death. We defend our right to live. We defend others' right to live as free souls. So, oppression and slavery and manipulation and mind control, whatever words you want to use, how other peoples manipulate other peoples, this is not acceptable in a true free will universe. And our human culture, the culture of humanity, is developing in a wonderful rate right now, and we're in the midst of these new energies that are helping us make new outlooks on life, and thus we start living the change we want to see in the world. It's what Mahatma Gandhi said a long time ago: be the change you want to see in the world. And truer words were never spoken. It is indeed true. We just have to be the change we want to see. Do you want to see a loving environment of people blessing each other? Then start it up. Be the change, and this effect will continue to magnify and grow exponentially. We're in the midst of some wonderful stuff, and I came across these 6 heart virtues when I was searching for answers and came across a website called WingMakers, WingMakers, WingMakers. And I mention it specifically because it had a very large, profound effect on my viewpoint of reality. And while it is all presented as myth, the stories, the interviews, the novels, everything put out by this creator of stuff, this author, musician, composer, magician, extremely talented individual named James Mahu. Everything that he has put out under the WingMakers banner, along with another website called Lyricus, which is the name of the Lyricus teaching order, is what the WingMakers use to teach their truths. And then they have another one called Spirit State, which is kind of an e-book kind of a thing where you can read a novel on a special reader at this website. They have a lot of innovative things at the WingMakers and very profound writing, and I recommend anybody go there and do a little search under what's new about excerpts from first source. There's like three different excerpts, a message from first source, and a revelation from first source, and a purpose from first source, something like that. Three different messages from first source that you can locate towards the bottom of the What's New tab on the menu. This is a little hint because I found that information very, very profound. The sort of information that you wish you'd hear from God. It's not in the Bible. I've read the Bible cover to cover more than once. I studied it paragraph by paragraph, word by word, with the Worldwide Bible Education Association, known as the Watchtower Bible Tract Society of New York, also known as Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, I was one of those Jehovah's Witnesses for over 25 years, but about 10 years ago I just kind of walked away from it because it was no longer satisfying for various reasons. And then over the course of time I came across some new understandings, and I learned to throw away what I formerly held as true and embrace new concepts that are true, which were in reality like 180 degrees apart from what I had first thought was true. And you may think, well, this guy's all over the place. He doesn't know where he's going. He's saying yes, and then he's saying no, and he's up here and down here. Well, it's not really that way. See, when you open your mind and open your heart to other concepts, what that means is you have to be willing to discard anything and everything that you've learned and just weigh each thing on its own merit. So the fact that I was able to do that without a lot of inner turmoil was very helpful for me. But it remains a fundamental truth that we must not get too attached to our belief system. If we find it's comforting and satisfying and has a ring of truth now, then we can make that part of our belief system. But if later we find a reason why that's not really to be held as true, we find a further enlightenment, more light on the subject, if you will, are we willing to set it aside and move ahead and adopt a new idea as the current understanding? See, there is no fundamental this is truth and everything else is false. It's always a matter of what seems to resonate with your mind and heart at the present moment. It's just what's resonating right now that appeals to you and sounds like that has a ring of truth and something worthy to pursue. And if later it no longer has that ring, well, maybe it's not worthy to pursue. See, we have to have that open-mindedness. And so I'm speaking about that in relationship to the six heart virtues because, they tie in so much with that. Just think about appreciation. What do we appreciate? How do we appreciate things? How do we manifest how do we express our appreciation? What ways can we show appreciation besides saying something or doing something? Are there actions that are so obvious that it's an action of appreciation? See, these kind of things we ask ourselves. Then we go to the next one, compassion. Compassion is the most wonderful emotion on the planet because it's how we spread our compassion outward from our heart energy to all corners of the world, all the way around the globe and all the way back around until it comes and hits us from the other side. Our compassion just travels the globe, and it's an energy, and it radiates from the heart, and we can visualize things like that in our mind as we're doing our worship. Worship is not the best word. I don't really like worship. As we're doing our spiritual activities. How's that? Spiritual activities. You see, words are just confusing things. Don't get hung up on, he said this, he should have said that. Words are just ways of conveying thoughts. What I want you to know is the thought, not the word. Okay? So we have the heart virtues of appreciation and compassion. And then what about the next one? Forgiveness. Forgiveness is so vital to happiness because if we don't forgive quickly and easily, forgive, 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 ready to forgive everything. If we don't have that very forgiving attitude in our heart, then we're not going to be very happy. And we want to be happy, and it's all about, doing what you want to make yourself feel satisfied. So why not forgive? Nobody, so few people do things with malice, and even the ones that do things with malice don't really do it because they really want to get you, usually. It's because they're just frightened and they want some kind of a payback, what they think will feel like justice for some imagined wrongdoing to the one that they want, to perpetrate something against. But the